Hey everybody, it is Janet Metzger of the Network Marketers Den, and I am here with my newer friend, not brand new, but we've known each other for a few months, Teresa Romain. Teresa and I actually met at a networking event. Imagine that, network marketing, and we're meeting at a networking event, which is what we all need to do. Teresa, I'm so excited to have you. We've been trying to connect, and as you said, we just clicked. It was so fun. But I want to tell you guys about Teresa. She owns a business called Access Abundance. She's actually had this company since 1996. But what attracted me, and again, law of attraction, was hearing about Teresa's success with network marketing. She has written articles. She's been featured on many podcasts. Her and her husband started a network marketing business. In fact, that's how you guys met, right? Was through
Not
network
exactly,
marketing.
No, but and then he introduced me to network.
And then he introduced you. Okay, so there was a reason for it. But Teresa has had a lot of experience in network marketing, but she switched her career to Access Abundance because she was struggling a little bit. So she lives not too far from me. She lives in if you're not from the area, you might not know this, but I will tell you it's one of the hot spots of Wisconsin called Wisconsin Dells. It's actually the water park capital of the world. I do know that. In a 155-year-old farmhouse. So that just blows me away, So Teresa, I want to welcome you.
Thank you. I'm thrilled to be here.
And I know you got a lot of good things going on. So what did I miss? What does everybody need to know about Teresa? I read your information on your website, but what doesn't it say on the website? Tell us a little bit more about it.
I think it says a lot on the website. So
it does.
I have to immediately come in and say, I can't say I had a lot of success in network marketing. That's how I became an abundance coach. I oftentimes say that I teach best what I most need to learn and practice myself, which means I've experienced every scarcity pattern known to mankind. And a lot of them really kind of came to the surface and manifested when Dan and I were committed to building our network marketing business full time. I had quit my 6-figure corporate job because I didn't love it anymore. And, I was a sales leader in my company. Dan has never met a stranger that doesn't invite him over to dinner. So on paper, we knew we were going to be successul at network marketing. I just wanted to devote myself to it full time. And we had plenty of money in savings. So I figured, we got to give ourselves a year. We can live off our savings and all of that. But at the end of that year, like I like to say, the only thing that was growing exponentially was our stress, our scarcity, and our debt, because most of our savings were gone. And so I oftentimes network marketing was kind of like my quagmire of scarcity, that everybody expected us to be successful. I expected us to be successful. On paper, we should have been successful, but something was missing because we weren't successful. And when we were starting to go backwards into debt, then Dan and I, for the first time, realized we are very opposite when it comes to money, because my whole approach was we just have to work harder and make more. And Dan was, we have to just cut back. And I didn't like to do deprivation. So I'm like trying to make more, but nothing was really cracking anything really open. We spent a lot of money. Right. Did all the things we're supposed to do. We went to the conferences. We dove into personal growth that the company sponsored. We were spending all the money doing the right things, but not like, where's the money?
Right.
And at some point I said, there's got to be something I'm missing. And you know how when the student is ready, the teachers start to appear. And so different teachers showed up for me in the form of books, in the forms of a direct mail campaign, self-study course about getting out of debt, all these things. And what I began to learn about prosperity and, abundance mindset and just basic money management and how you can get out of debt was like, I didn't know this. If I had known this when I left my corporate job, we would have done everything so differently.
Right.
I'm going to teach this to my network marketing friends. And that's how I started my business.
Okay. So, I'm going to put words in your mouth. So you're saying having an abundance mindset is critical for a network marketer.
I'm going to update that. Yes, you need to have an abundance mindset. But what I've since discovered 26 years later is an abundance mindset isn't necessarily what people think is an abundance mindset.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And an abundance mindset for many people, is about thinking positively and grateful and all of this sort of stuff. But what I discovered, because even as an abundance coach, and that's where I really got a name for myself in network marketing, because of my connections, because I started out teaching this stuff to network marketers, and I was invited to speak at network marketing companies, especially a unique piece I had around the power of using your network marketing income to become debt-free. I had a regular column in Upline magazine and the network marketing magazine. So it was not when I was actually building a network marketing business that I had success in network marketing. It was when I was a coach supporting network marketers from what I learned.
Okay. Makes sense.
And what I want to really make sure I say this one, the biggest mistake I made, and this is really what kind of launched me on my journey, was I confused financial freedom with making lots of money. And I see a lot of network marketers do the same thing.
Okay. Tell us about that. So say that again. I confuse financial freedom
with making lots of money.
Okay. Tell us about that.
So after we hit the quagmire of scarcity, our savings were gone, our debt was racking up. And I said, what am I missing? I learned this system, kind of like Dave Ramsey teaches now, for getting out of debt. And what I discovered was, with all of the debt we had, which was, I think we had about $50,000 of credit card debt at the time, is that if we could live within our means and just have like $300 of additional income we could use in a specific way to become debt-free, all of that debt would be gone in about 3 years. And we'd still get to enjoy our life, and we wouldn't have to work really hard. And then when you're debt-free, now you have more available cash, which, oh my gosh, you could start to invest it and have that money make money for you. And so what I was like, wow, if I had known this when I began, instead of trying to spend all this money to make a 6-figure income, I would have tried to build a business where I for sure every month could make like $300 of profit. I would have used that to become completely debt-free, because when you're debt-free, you don't need to make as much money. So the pressure's off. Then I would have money to let that money start making money for me, and I can enjoy my life. And I may not be making, $5,000 a month in my network marketing business, but I have the life I want. Now, the other thing that I discovered, and I used to teach people, is when you're feeling like my business is helping me become financially free and become debt free, and I'm not having to work every moment, I'm just making $300 a month, and this is what that $300 is doing. It's not enough. It's actually quite a bit. You're having fun. You're relaxed. You're not desperate. Guess what? People are going to want what you got. You can teach them to do the same thing, and the chances of your income staying at $300 is slim, but it wouldn't matter, because you'd be on the path to financial freedom. So that was my initial message that I kept bringing to network marketing.
Sure.
Now back to your abundance mindset question. Even as I became an abundance coach and I began to work with people who weren't in network marketing, et cetera, I still kept running into my own scarcity patterns, and I made a lot of money in my business. And then it was like, I was working too hard, and I was like, forget it. I'm going to cut back so I can enjoy myself. And I never seemed to quite find that just right point, like Goldilocks, not too little, not too much, just right.
Sure.
And I finally, once again, in 2016 said, what am I missing? And what I discovered since then, and it's been a 4 or 5 year research journey, is that there's this subconscious, invisible what I call archetype of scarcity that our world is built on, that our way of relating to money is built on, that our economy is built on, that money management is built on. And it always is having us think more money is, what's that more or less. And what a lot of people do is when they recognize, I've got scarcity, or they know they have a scarcity mindset, I have to create an abundance mindset, because then I can have more money. Then I can, like that type of
vicious cycle. It's a vicious cycle.
What they don't realize is they're trying to put an abundance mindset on top of this archetype of scarcity. And no matter how abundant your mindset is, you still are left with, it's not enough.
Right. Absolutely. I love that you talked about the $300 a month. And I think for a network marketer, those numbers are real important, because it was funny. I was on a call yesterday with a company that I'm supporting, and they're talking about, people were talking about, you can earn six figures and you can this and you can that. More and more, it's become a side hustle for people. And interestingly enough, $300, $400 a month. Well, right now with inflation, they say on average, it's about $440 more per month to have the same lifestyle. So it is life changing. So for our listeners, you've got to maybe change that mindset that you don't have to be all of this and talking to people about hundreds of thousands of dollars. This is life changing money.
Absolutely. And one of the things that I saw, it broke my heart. Unfortunately, I did it for a while myself as a network marketer. But oftentimes people, they're not out there, I want to start a network marketing business. Let me do due diligence. They just something shows up. They're at a party, they're at a show, a friend asks them and they say yes. And one of the first things that usually happens once you've signed up is let's get together and let's figure out what your why is.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
For many people at that point, my why is I'd like to just make a couple $200-300 to just take some pressure off, our bills, etc. And well-intentioned, well-meaning sponsors have been trained to say, $200-300, you should think bigger than that. Mm-hmm. You can do so much more. And the message they just sent is that's not enough. And now from that point, it's like the network marketer is in this not enough box. You've just put them in there. They're now I got to do more. I got to work harder. And they're in the archetype of scarcity right there. Instead of yes, let's have you make $200-300. What do you plan to do with it? How will that make a difference in your business? Do you know, what I used to say, do you know how powerful that could be to have you get rid of your credit card debt and blah, 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 blah?
Right.
And encourage them, because that's what allows people to feel inspired and supported and they want to take action. They don't feel like a not enough and failure. And now they're going to stick with it. And then if they're making $200-300 a month, maybe they say, now I'd like to make more. And if they don't, that's fine. I have a dear friend who is the top distributor of this worldwide company. I mean, when I first met her, she had 250,000 people in her network. Okay.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
And I asked her name is Margie. And I said, Margie, because she really saw my vision and she was like, yes, yes, yes. And she said, if everybody in my business made $300 a month, I'd be making $1 million a month, like that. She saw the power, because what it sets up is there's a few people who make a lot and a lot of others who feel like a failure, who feel like they get resentful of network marketing. They think it's a skill, all of that. And it's all goes down to that the picture that network marketing is oftentimes built on. It's let us help you make lots of money. Let us help you make more money. And when we confuse financial freedom with making lots of money, instead of being able to live the life you want to live and having the money you need.
Right. That's such a great point. Such a great point, because it's their goal, not your goal.
Yes.
And you have to meet people where they're at. And you're absolutely right. People need to be successful right away.
Yes.
Right off the bat. right off the bat, not worry about, I see it all the time where they're talking about, well, and when you get to this level, you get da 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 da. They haven't even sold anything yet. And we're talking about that, and they're feeling overwhelmed. So you're absolutely meet them where you're at. But you're right. That is a big mistake that
what
that
do you think
uplines
created
make.
our $50,000 of debt? I was leaving a six-figure corporate job. I'm going to make six figures. So I'm going to spend money like I'm a leader, and I'm going to be a leader. Like, I wish I had known, let's create that $300 base and teach others to do that. And teach others to do that. And if that's all they ever do, I'm going to succeed. They're going to succeed. And again, another thing that I see happen in the marketing of trying to get people into network marketing is it creates this mindset that the only way we can create a residual income is through our business. Not true.
No,
not true. You can, like I got, become debt free and then take some or all of the money that you've been living without because they've been paying your bills and start to invest that. And there can be a residual income. Again, it goes back to more money. Making lots of money is not necessarily financial freedom.
Right. And, I always find it, and sometimes people will ask you, well, do you make a lot of money? And I'll just say, well, what's your definition of a lot of money? Your definition is probably different than mine. But for, studies show $300 to $500 more per month is totally life-changing. So you're absolutely right. And you're setting them up to fail. They need a win. Everybody needs a win. So that's a great story. So you're talking with a network marketer that is looking to build their business. What are a couple of things that you would, you talked about what not to do, which I love. Don't set the goal for them. But what are a couple things you would tell a network marketer thinking about, having the right frame of mind and mindset and abundance, et cetera? What would you tell a network marketer that they should do that maybe you didn't do and you wish you would have done?
Yes. Bake your own potato.
Okay, you got me on that one. What does that mean?
So another mistake that I made, and I see network marketers and direct sellers make, is there's so much emphasis on recruiting and building a team and helping your team.
Yep.
So here's my baked potato analogy. If I were starving and all I had to eat was a baked potato, I can go for a really long time. If that was all I had was a baked potato, I could live on that for a really long time. Agreed?
Right. Okay.
Now, personally, I'd rather have a baked potato with sour cream and chives and things like that on it.
Yeah.
But if all I had was a plain baked potato, I could go for a long time. So baking your own potato is you having your own sales, you having your own production, you having your own customers, you doing what you want the people you recruit to do.
Yes.
Okay. And what I see too many people, and I did it too, is when you suddenly start to have even one or two teams, all your energy goes to helping them. Whatever they do and the income you get off of them, that's the sour cream and chives.
Yep.
I can go a long time on a baked potato. If I never recruit anybody, I can still be building a successful business. Now, would I rather have it with sour cream and chives? Yes. But what I saw a lot of network marketers do is they were trying to live on sour cream and chives, no potato.
No potato.
And I wouldn't want to live on sour cream and chives by itself for very long at all.
No, you're absolutely right. It's kind of like your kids. You gotta not do as I say, not as I do. You want to do the right thing.
Yeah, you got to show them what it looks like to have regular sales and to have new customers. And it's okay if it's customers. It's not a failure if they didn't want to join the business. They just become a customer. Okay,
exactly. Great. Yeah, you can either become, you got a few choices. You can become a customer, you can join my team, or you could refer somebody. But
Right.
you're absolutely right. It's, I always say network marketing is for everybody, but not everybody's for network marketing. Why do you want to drag somebody into the business? Because you're going to have to keep dragging them. So
Right.
it's interesting. I just had a conversation with a client this morning, and that was one of the things. And I said, why are you why are you so focused on building a team? I said, and she said, well, because I was told I should do that.
Yes.
Do you want to do that?
Yes.
And she's feeling like a failure.
And here's the thing. Have you built some base for your own business? Because if you haven't, how confident are you going to be recruiting somebody knowing you're supposed to teach them how to do that?
Right. Yeah,
So
absolutely.
bake your own potato.
I have never heard that one, and I love it, but you're absolutely right. Boy, I am going to use that tonight for the training call that I'm going to be doing.
Because the idea of like a spoonful of sour cream, like,
Ugh. Ugh.
So potato, sour cream. Cool.
Yeah. I mean, it's control the controllables, right? You can control your activities. Wow. That's a great piece of advice. I love that. And you won't forget it. You won't forget it. You absolutely won't. So bake your own potato. Anything else you would share with a network marketer that you wish you would have done?
Yeah, I would have. And a long time ago, I used to teach this class called One Call Magic. And I don't know if phone calls these days, it's such a different world. But, back when I was doing it, the phone was like the 20-pound elephant, nobody.
Right. Yeah.
Phone. And I can relate. When I was a kid, I was so shy. I didn't even want to call the library in my small town and ask what time they closed. I mean, like that. But between my corporate career and then another business I had, I was working for another entrepreneur when our network marketing wasn't going and I needed money. It was like I got really good at making phone calls and I love it. And so I used to tell people, it's called one call magic. Here's the thing you do. You make one call. That's your only commitment. Each day, whatever days you're working your business, you make one phone call. You don't, it's like, I've got to make 10 phone calls. Nope. Your commitment is to make one phone call. Because here's the thing, when you don't want to, when you're tired, when whatever, you can like, okay, I can make one phone call.
Right.
But when you're like, I have to make 10 phone calls, too tired, not enough time. I can make one phone call. The magic is in the one phone call for many reasons, because you know how network marketers are like, I should be making phone calls and I'm not making phone calls. And so then they're starting to beat up on themselves because they're not making phone calls. And then they just go longer without making phone calls. And then they think, oh gosh, I have to make 20 phone calls now and 30. And that whole game.
Right.
It's like one phone call. You no longer can tell yourself the story, I'm not making phone calls, because you've made one.
Right. You made one.
So one's already done. It's also about consistency more than quantity. And one phone call you can do. And the other thing is, it's our thoughts and our beliefs and those fears of phone calls, or whatever the equivalent of phone calls is today for you. Once we're in the experience, once we've actually done it, the energy shifts. It's just what we're making up about it. So you make one phone call. And when you're done, you celebrate it. You pat yourself on the back, you go, you did it. And at that moment, you've kept your commitment to yourself. You don't have to make another phone call. You've kept your commitment. You're in integrity. You're building consistency of action. Now, when you've celebrated and you've made one phone call, then you get to ask yourself this question. Am I able to, and do I want to make one phone call now?
And your vibration's up, so you probably do.
And if you do, great. And if you have the time, great. But you don't have to, because you've kept your commitment. And if you feel like, yeah, I want to, then great. You make one phone call and then you celebrate and then go, yay. And then you stop and then you go, am I able to, or do I want to make one phone call? No more of these 10 calls a day. No more of these 5 calls a day. One call. And once you've made one call, then you get to decide, do I want to make one call? Do I want to make one call? And at any point, once you've made that one call, you can stop without any guilt because you kept your commitment to yourself. You're in integrity and you're being consistent. And some days you'll make that one phone call and you're just like, nope, I'm done.
Yeah. And other days, consistency.
And other days you'll go like, wow, look at that. I made one phone call 7 times. Wow. But you're no longer in that all or nothing, feeling bad, out of integrity, telling your story. I'm not making my phone calls. And you get to feel successful again because I made my one phone call. Yeah,
Teresa, that's great. That's great advice. And I'm thinking, one of the biggest objections we continue to hear, and we'll always hear, is I don't have enough time. So imagine saying to somebody who's deciding about the business, do you have time to make one phone call a day?
Yep. Now,
everybody does.
One phone call a day, your business may or may not grow faster or slower. Because that one phone call a day, it could be a really good conversation. Your business could go just as fast. But you see, what that one phone call does is it challenges that underlying idea of scarcity. Because what's the first thing? One phone call, that's not enough. Says who?
Yeah. Absolutely.
If you do one phone call a day, that's 365 phone calls a year. I know a lot of network marketers who never make 365 calls a year, and they keep trying to do it 10, 5, 20 calls at a time.
Right. They make everything an event. They don't have time to do their business because they think it takes 8-hour chunks.
Yep.
It's 8-minute chunks. It's 15 minutes. I mean, that's what I preach. One phone call. I love that. So, wow, this is, I love the baked potato, by the way. I love that one. I just love that. So your website is really robust and has got some great stories about it. And when I was reading it, I was thinking of you. It sounded like you. I know that sounds stupid, but I'm reading it. I'm going, I can hear Teresa saying this. So what are some of the things that you do to support your clients and different things? I know you've got some things that are coming down the pike. You want to share those with us?
Yeah. So over 26 years, my work has evolved to now what I'm really all about is helping exposing that underlying invisible archetype of scarcity. It's kind of like the operating system that's running in the background, but everything you're doing is running on top of it. Especially as it shows up for people around money, because my people, which is network marketers, they're in that, I want to make more money. I want to get out of debt. I want to, they experience scarcity around money, and they keep thinking that the thing that's going to solve their scarcity around money is to somehow make more or save more or spend less. And it's not working because they haven't changed the operating system. So everything I do now is about exposing that operating system, the archetype of scarcity, redefining abundance, because that's like an activation key, you put on your computer when you're installing something. And it's what starts to activate a whole new operating system that I call the sacred archetype of abundance. And it's just a total game changer. It's like musical chairs, scarcity, to let's all dance and party together. Like it's a totally different game. So everything I do is about that. It applies to network marketers. It applies to non-network marketers. It applies to entrepreneurs, because that underlying archetype of scarcity, even the stuff we know to do around abundance, if we don't address that, it's kind of like having great apps for your computer, but they won't do what they're doing because your operating system isn't compatible.
Right. Yeah. The subconscious mind is. Yeah. Wow. So I'm going to ask you one more question.
Yep.
What do you like to do for fun when you're not working?
It depends upon whether it's spring, summer, winter. I love to read. I like last week, I was just in a fiction novel. I think I read 5 fiction novels. It was fun. I'm a nature gal extraordinaire. So now when I can be outside, when I can watch the birds, when I can be in the garden, went for a bike ride this morning before it got hot. So anytime I can be in nature, I love to cook. I love to create. That is one of the disadvantages of our old farmhouse. It's got a very small space. And so I can never entertain as many people as I would love to entertain, except for in the summer, because we got 4 acres. So then we can do it outside.
Then you can get them outside.
Yeah. So those are some of the things I love to do.
That's great. So you've got something coming up for our listeners, and we're going to put it in the show notes with your website and everything. But you just want to kind of give everybody a little bit of an idea of what you have as your free offer for them?
Yeah. So here's what should happen. By the time you're listening to this, on our website, there's going to be some new fun stuff there. So if you go to teresaromain.com, and by the way, I got the H knocked out of me a long time. So it's Teresa. If you put the H in, you're going to go to a romance novelist. It's not me.
Not you.
But if you go there, and up in the right-hand corner, there's going to be a begin here button. Read that. I'm going to talk about these two archetypes a little bit, and click on, there's a little video though you're going to be able to watch, and then you'll be able to access some more videos, all free. And it's going to just deep dive in, well, not deep dive. It's going to give you this introduction between these two archetypes, these two operating systems. You're probably going to recognize yourself in some of it. And then once you've watched those videos, there's going to be a button to take you to another page where there's all sorts of resources and tools available to you, some of which are free. So by the time you're watching, just go to teresaromain.com, go begin here, and just follow the yellow brick road.
Okay. Oh, wow. Well, I'm excited for that. And Teresa, I so appreciate you sharing those nuggets. They're golden. And, I still think the phone is a good thing. At the end of the day, you still have to have live conversations, whether anybody likes it or not. Social media is a wonderful tool, but you have to take it offline and you have to have those conversations. But anybody can do just one a day. I absolutely love it. So
one call magic. Yep.
That's it. So, well, I want to thank you for coming on board. I'm looking forward to your taking a look at the new things on your website. And for our listeners, be sure to check out teresaromain.com. And this is Janet Metzger of the Network Marketers Den. And you know what? You're in the best industry in the world. And sometimes we just have to get out of our own way. And that's what Teresa will do. And if you want any support with your network marketing business, you have any questions, certainly reach out to me at coachjanetm.com. I'm happy to help you. You know what? I love this industry. I think it's the best. And
I agree.
Believe in yourself as much as we do, and get rid of that archetype. Get rid of
it's an industry that is perfectly aligned with abundance, built on an operating system of scarcity.
Absolutely.
That, and then this business, this industry is amazing. Yeah.
Absolutely. So Teresa, thanks so much. And here's to everybody enjoying their success. And we'll see you in the next episode.